In today's English lesson, we are going to try to answer the question, who was president in 2024? Was it Joe Biden? Was it his son Hunter Biden? Or maybe it was his wife Jill Biden. A lot of books are coming out now talking about how Joe Biden wasn't doing so well mentally in 2024. Watching the news in English is a great way to improve your English. Maybe you are studying for the IELTS or TOEFL exam. Maybe you just want to have better conversations in English. Today, we are going to watch a news clip about how Joe Biden was slipping during his last few months as president. We will talk about what an inner circle is. We'll talk about what it means to gaslight somebody. By the end of this English lesson, you will know the term mentally sharp. How about this term, unvetted? Do you know what an enabler is? Well, if you don't worry. By the end of this English lesson, you will. We will discuss those terms and so many more. Before we watch the news clip together, please go ahead and hit that like button. And if this is your first time here, go ahead and subscribe so you never miss another English lesson.
Well, we begin with new details regarding the effort by Biden's inner circle to gaslight you, insisting the former president was mentally sharp. He was fit to serve another term. They told us this repeatedly.
In the newscast, they talked about Biden's inner circle. Let's get the definition for that. A small group of close friends or helpers. Biden's inner circle helped make big decisions when he was not feeling well. To gaslight somebody, that means to make someone think they are wrong when they are not. Some people say the White House gaslighted the public about Biden's health. Even when Biden was president, many people were saying, is he okay? Is he still mentally sharp? And many people in the news were saying, no, he's fine. Let's talk about what mentally sharp means. Whenever you hear mentally, think the mind, think the brain, and it means able to think and speak clearly. Some people said Biden didn't seem mentally sharp anymore. Repeatedly, that means again and again. Reporters were repeatedly told that Biden was doing fine.
Well, we begin with new details regarding the effort by Biden's inner circle to gaslight you, insisting the former president was mentally sharp. He was fit to serve another term. They told us this repeatedly. President Trump is accusing those around Biden of taking advantage of his mental decline. Here's what he posted. Quote, they stole the presidency of the United States and put us in great danger. This is treason at the highest level. They did it to destroy our country. The Joe Biden that everybody knew would never allow drug dealers, gang members, and the mentally insane to come into our country totally unchecked and unvetted.
Treason, something that is very serious in the United States. It means helping enemies or hurting your own country on purpose. Some said hiding the truth about Biden's help felt like treason. Like if he wasn't able to do the job, maybe they should have gotten somebody else, like the vice president, Kamala Harris. Unvetted. Unvetted, that means not checked or approved. Unvetted people may have helped lead the country behind the scenes. Yeah, we're talking maybe his wife, Jill Biden, or maybe his son, Hunter. And in that picture, you can see what we call fingerprints in English. And I had to get fingerprinted before I could teach my students. I was vetted. Let's take a look at a sentence about vetted and teachers. Teachers are vetted before they are allowed to work with children.
All anyone has to do is look up his record. Something very severe should happen to these treasonous thugs that wanted to destroy our country but couldn't because I came along. And a new Politico op-ed titled "All the President's Enablers" is raising questions about Biden's inner circle, citing all the bombshell details of 3 books on Joe Biden's presidency that jointly paint a devastating portrait of an ailing geriatric leader surrounded by mendacious aides and grasping family members.
Severe. You might hear of severe weather. In that picture, it looks like there is a thunder and lightning storm. I count at least 4 thunderbolts in that picture. It looks like severe weather. Let's talk about what severe is. Very serious. Biden's health problems were more severe than the public knew. We are expecting severe weather tomorrow, so be careful. Let me interrupt this English lesson for a few seconds to let you know that I am now offering one-on-one private conversations. If you want to take your English speaking to the next level, take a look at the description, take a look at the comment section. There you will find a link if you would like to become one of my students. Now let's talk about maybe my favorite term for this English lesson, enablers. Enablers are people who let someone keep doing something wrong. Some people say Biden's enablers didn't stop the problem. And in that picture, you can clearly see a man who is laying in bed. He looks very heavy. He doesn't look very healthy. And then you can see a woman, maybe she is his mom, and she is bringing him a plate full of waffles. She is enabling him to continue to be very unhealthy. Quite a sad situation. A bombshell. Luckily, this has nothing to do with war. What is a bombshell? Well, it's big, surprising news. The book about Biden's health was a bombshell. Ailing. It means sick or not healthy. The ailing president was not seen much in public. Geriatric, it means very old, usually over 70. I turn 50 this year. I hope nobody calls me geriatric. I guess I have 20 more years before I become geriatric. People worried a geriatric president could not lead the country. Yeah, I think Joe Biden is 82, 83. Hey, President Trump is also geriatric. He is in his late 70s.
You know, Kennedy, I'm still stuck on this quote about 5 people running the country from Alex Thompson's book. And Joe Biden was at best a senior board member. So I want to bring up one anecdote. Hasn't been reported enough in my mind. It comes from the Philadelphia Inquirer, and it's about Governor Shapiro. And it's about Jill Biden, who they called Lady McBiden because she shielded and cocooned the president, allegedly. But here's what it said.
And also sought power for her own means, like Lady Macbeth.
Like Lady Macbeth. There, thank you for explaining the reference. So here's what it said. I have some concerns, Shapiro said, speaking to Biden. This is according to the book. He was citing recent poll numbers. Inflation was a concern among voters. But before Biden could fully respond, he was ushered out by who? The First Lady.
Anecdote is next. An anecdote, that is a short, true story. One anecdote told how Biden forgot someone's name. Yeah, a very famous actor, at least here in the United States. His name is George Clooney. In the newscast, they talked about how Jill Biden might have been like Lady Macbeth. Let's talk about who Lady Macbeth is. She comes from Shakespeare. She also comes from the play Macbeth. A woman who secretly controls things. Some people said Jill Biden acted like Lady Macbeth. I don't suggest English learners read Shakespeare. It's really difficult even for native English speakers. But in the play, Macbeth is the main character and he wants to kill the king, or his wife wants him to kill the king. So she tells him all of these reasons why he should kill the king. So that is why people are calling Jill Biden Lady Macbeth. Maybe she was actually the president in 2024, or at least making most of the decisions. Cocooned. Cocooned. It is a verb and it means kept away from people or problems. Biden was cocooned so no one could see he was sick. And in that picture, it looks like that mom is wrapping her son in something we call bubble wrap. It's used to protect packages being sent by mail. And this word comes from cocoon. It's like that protective thing that caterpillars will go into, and then they come out as butterflies. Inflation. Inflation. Is this review? I know we have talked about inflation quite a bit on this channel, but it's when prices for things like food or gas go up. Inflation got worse while people questioned who was leading the country.
Inflation was a concern among voters, but before Biden could fully respond, he was ushered out by who? The First Lady. All right, we got to go, Jill Biden said before walking the president to the motorcade and driving off. This is the line that's interesting. According to the book, the abrupt exit made it clear to Shapiro that they didn't want Biden to hear how bad things actually were. That is interesting to me. To Donald Trump's point, people not just making decisions for the president, but shielding him from information. This is according to a Shapiro reference.
Ushered. Ushered. We have a verb here, and it means to lead someone or something to a new place or time. Biden's exit ushered in a new leader. They also said Biden's inner circle ushered him to a motorcade when questions got tough. We'll talk about motorcade next, but I have a couple more sentences with ushered. The president was ushered out of the room after the threat. And in the picture here, you can see maybe a security guard ushering a woman out of some sort of speaking event. We also have the noun in English, usher. An usher can show you to your seats in a movie theater. Motorcade, motorcade. Hopefully when you hear motor, you are thinking something like a car, maybe. Here is the official definition for motorcade: a group of cars that drive a leader around. Biden's motorcade avoided places where reporters were waiting. Abrupt. Abrupt. It means very sudden. His choice to stop running for president was abrupt. And I am sure, at least I hope, that car came to an abrupt stop to avoid hitting that cat in the road. We have a verb here, shielding. Shielding, that means hiding or protecting someone from harm. Aides, or people who help the president, aides were shielding Biden from the press. In other words, the press is another name for reporters. And the woman in the picture is shielding her eyes from the sun. A shield is a noun. A shield once protected knights. Notice how knights is spelled in that sentence, when they went to battle. Congratulations, you made it to the end of another difficult English lesson. Don't forget, I am still offering private classes. Check out the comment section for more information. And right down there is another English lesson I did that YouTube thinks you are going to like. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.